This is easily one of my top 3 dumbest purchases of all time. Don't get me wrong, when I first saw them back on the runway, I think it was 2019 when Loewe first showcased them, the fall winter 2019 collection I was in love with them. I thought they were absolutely incredible. Of course, they had showcased them in 2 different colors, a black variation, which is ever more so subtle. And I figured, do you know what these big ass sort of leg height chaps needed more? Was, let me just, there you go. Bruh, if a piece of clothing makes you moan like that, maybe not a good shout. Anyway, as I was saying, I decided to go for the bright yellow variation because what I thought this pair of boot needed more was some attention. They retailed for a sweet £2,600. Now, I was still kind of smart enough, if you will, to wait until the sale because I knew that nobody would get them at that price. And I paid £1,300, which puts that so-called intelligence into question. And I remember at the time my boy Magnus telling me, bro, you're gonna regret this. First he said, what are those? And then he said, you're gonna regret this. And me, back in my stubborn self, filled with confidence and delusion, I was like, bro, I'll wear these a ton. Okay, maybe not a ton, and maybe not every day, but I'll get enough wear out of them. So here we are, 5 years later, and I've worn these boots for a grand total of three times. Once at Fashion Week, another when I was taking a little stroll around Berlin. Now, coincidentally, both times I was wearing them with a big ass coat. And then third time is now, as in like right this moment, as I'm doing this reel to show them to you. So do I think they're still beautiful? Absolutely. Do I still love them? Most definitely. Was I, you know, gassed when I made that purchase and I brought them home for the first time and I put them on? Most definitely. But the question is, would I make that purchase again today? Would I spend a whole £1,300, Great British pounds that is, by the way, GBP, not USD, not euros, GBP, today? Most definitely not. Although I do have to say that with the jackets, it do be looking kind of fuego. Muy fuego. And so the moral of the story is, if you have to convince yourself that something is a great purchase, it probably isn't, despite how fuego it might look. Yeah? Live and learn, people. Live from my mistakes and learn from my mistakes. In fact, what do you think? Actually, you know what? Don't answer that, because I know what you'll say, and we all love watching someone else make the dumb decisions that we'd never make ourselves. Ciao.